Good morning, and we are back. We are back. Let me see if there's anybody on. There's a few people on this morning, so there's some news kicking around about Luis Palma. There is Luis Palma news kicking about this morning, and there's been some people that have translated it completely wrong. I'm going to be honest. They've translated it from Google Spanish, which from South American Spanish to Spanish is a rubbish translation at the best of point. But the Luis Palma news this morning is the fact that Luis Palma got a small injury. Now, in Spanish, it says, tiene Luis Palma en el duelo que tú sabes, right? So basically, that translates to Luis Palma, a small discomfort a small discomfort that Luis Palma had in a duel with Sánchez. And then it goes on to say, and I'm translating this for Spanish. Nuestro primero trabajo. They basically done work on it, and the translation is they've done work on it. They've been on a training session, and they'll see how it is today. There's a small joint mobility issue. There's nothing to worry about. Luis Palma has a small discomfort. I'm reading a lot of stuff this morning where there's a lot of media outlets saying that it's an injury worry. And I am freezing this morning. Yes, I am back in Scotland. And my brother, I don't know how to switch my heating on in my brother's house. It's absolutely Baltic here. So yeah, that's the Luis Palma news. There's a lot of us. The best guy at North is here and winking. John, I could probably spit on you today. no, not that I would, but yeah, I'm back in town. So yeah, I'm at my brother's. The Luis Palma thing, I think some media outlets really need to translate it properly. I mean, South American Spanish isn't the same as normal Spanish. It's like accents. The paper, well, the online publication that's being quoted as 10, which is 10, and the translation. I mean, I can see where they've got there is an injury to Luis Palma, but when I've translated it, it is basically it's a small discomfort to Luis Palma. So don't worry about all the headlines that you're going to see today. You're probably going to see over the next day or so lots of scare stories, lots of headlines online that there's an injury worry to Luis Palma. It is a small niggle, if anything, and they're just going to look at it before the next game because they do play Mexico again, I think. Excelente trabajo y el trabajo de Vega. Yeah. Si estimo todo la manoda. Yeah, basically he's back working with the group, but it's a tiny little, it's a sentence. It is a sentence, and it does get my back up when you see like really rubbish translations. Right, let's get to some of the comments because I haven't done a live for ages. There are some people on live, and Pac-Man's in the house. What's for breakfast? What is for breakfast? I don't know. There's square sausage. There's square sausage in the house, and there's some black pudding that my brother has bought in for me. Tam Mack is in the house. Hail Tam. Paul McCune's in the house. John is in the house, the truck driving legend. I was doing Kirkcaldy yesterday. That was interesting. Patrick Toner's in the house. Morning, Baz, the boys and girls. Get Patrick up. Sean, morning, Baz, from Birmingham. Any news about Jota? The Jota thing's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's not a chance. 2:30 a.m. in Colorado. Help me get through this night shift. Night shift in Colorado. We need to star that one. And John says, you had spicy haggis supper yet? I had spicy haggis supper before I left. But yeah. I had, what did we have last night? I can't remember. Anyway, I know it was, but I had a steak last night. Right, let's get some more. Because I'm seeing, the reason I spoke about this first with the Celtic news this morning is I'm seeing some really crappy headlines. And some, I'm going to be honest, some of it's from Celtic media. Luis Palma injury issue emerges. That's from one Celtic site. Another one, let me just go down. Luis Palma and Celtic injury sweat as he adds to the growing list of worries. No, it's not an injury sweat. It's a slight, Jesus, if they translated it properly. Anyway, let's talk about a Celtic player that isn't with Celtic anymore. What about Mo Elyounoussi last night? Did anyone watch the Scotland game? I watched it with my brother. Joseph, morning, Joseph. How are you? Who's Jota? Exactly. We've got Luis Palma, and Luis Palma. Oh, there is one update with Marco Tillo. We did the Marco Tillo video yesterday that he did play a game for the under 23s. It's always good when Celtic players that are sort of on the fringe go away with their national teams and they talk to the media. Now, it has come out that the young guy, Marco Tillo, maybe looking to try and get a loan in January, a loan deal out of Celtic in January to try and get some game time, because obviously he's not in the B team and he's nowhere to be seen when it comes to the main team. Now, he is still young and he has been signed in that bracket of potential. And it's a case of he's on a 5-year contract. So for a young guy to come in, and there's another headline. New boy poised to lead Celtic clear out. No, he's not. No, he's not. And I'm going to be honest. This is from a Celtic site. I'm reading that. I'm just going through the headlines on all the Celtic sites this morning. I think the cold's getting to me here. Marco Tillo, who hasn't figured from the Celtic first team since his arrival in June, could be heading out for a hoops exit. Oh my goodness! No, the Australian winger, £3 million on a 5-year deal. £3 million. I thought it was 1.5 million. From Melbourne City, he's been hampered with injury, and his career has stalled. 22-year-old who has played 10 minutes for his nation's 2-1 win over Qatar. It was the under 23s. God. Anyway, there's a suggestion that Marco Tillo has said that he might look to try and get a loan out of Celtic. Now, he's in that age bracket. He is in the age bracket where a lot of the young guys, the young Scottish guys, get put out on loan. So why shouldn't Marco Tillo get put out on loan to get him some game time, get his fitness up? And I think putting headlines out like that, and I mean, people have a go at me for headlines, but it's all about grabbing attention and getting as many people to watch the videos as possible. But when it comes to things like, just do the translations properly. Will it be a good thing for Marco Tillo to go out on loan? Personally, I think it will. He's that far out the picture. He's never going to get past Lil Abada when he's fit. He's never going to get past Dyson. He's never going to get past Luis Palma. He's got all these players in front of him. So, saying it's a bad thing, it's not going to be part of a clear out. It's about just getting the young boy game time. I'm sure that Tom Rogic, when he first came to Celtic, did he not go out on loan? The fact that we've got him on a 5-year deal, to me, suggests that, look, he's going to be here for a long time. We need to get him out. We need to get him fit. We need to get him some game time, and then we'll take it from there. Anyway, how many thumbs up do we have for the video this morning? Let's just check this. The internet is so bad back here. Share the video. Why not share the video? Anyway, let's get back to some Celtic news. That's the one about Marco Tillo. Rodgers admitted that he is looking for more quality rather than quantity. I think we brought in far too much quantity. When you look at the players that have come in, especially last summer, there's only really been one that set the heather on fire, and that's going to be Luis Palma. There are other ones that you've got kind of signs in them. Paulo Bernardo. A lot of guys that go to the game saying they're not seeing enough from Paulo Bernardo. I'm trying to get tickets for the game this weekend at Celtic Park. The guy that has our tickets is using them, and it was an unannounced trip back to Scotland. So yeah, all the new boys that have came in, I think there's only really one. I think players that need to go out is obviously James McCarthy. How he's still at Celtic. It's only another month or so before Nat Phillips goes back to Anfield, goes back to Liverpool. He was only brought in, remember, because of all the injuries we have. Is the injury positions now sort of eased off in defence? I think we can all say it has. So the fact that Phillips was only brought in as an emergency cover is his time will be up and he'll go back to Liverpool. I don't think he'll stay at Celtic, that's for sure. And let's just see what other Celtic news is kicking around this morning. Obviously, a lot of people talking about Mo Elyounoussi. Mo Elyounoussi sneaked in at the back post, scored a cracker against Scotland last night. And let me see, a lot of people are talking about Callum McGregor and how he played last night. thought it was interesting that I did watch the game. I'm going to be honest, I watched it with my brother, and I found it interesting that even though it was the last game of the competition, and but the Scotland fans started leaving early. And I can understand it's a Sunday night, they want to get home early, but the team is just qualified for a major tournament. You would think that they would stay at least 5 minutes after the game and let the boys know how proud they were. Tell me what you think about that in the comments, just for something different. You should make your way to the new Indian restaurant beside the bus station. Yeah, that used to be, yes, the Jasmine. Yeah, that used to be the old Chinese, doesn't it? Yeah, I might head down there one night. Is it sitting yet, or is it just takeaway? I'm not sure. I'll have a nip down today. Have a look. Anyway, that is Joseph. So the Scottish media, they've been talking about Callum McGregor, and they delivered their verdict on Callum McGregor as they finished the Euro 2024 campaign with an incredible 3-3. And it was a cracking game. I thought Norway were bang average. Obviously, big Christopher Ayer. There was a lot of ex-Celtic players on show last night. Big Christopher Ayer getting booked pretty early on for Norway. It's one game that I wish I was back home at, because there's a Norwegian pub not far from us, and it would have been some banter last night, I tell you that. But Christopher Ayer gets a booking pretty early on for a sliding tackle just on the edge of the box. He was lucky, he didn't give a penalty there, but then moments later, the Scotland obviously did get a penalty, and the man of the moment, the one that got away, the one that Brendan Rodgers, the one that cost Brendan Rodgers, made up Brendan Rodgers' mind to get out of Celtic, McGinn scores for the penalty spot. Could you just think, is there any Scottish players in the Scottish team that think that Celtic could go for it? There's a lot of things, a lot of talk going on about, obviously, we need the Scottish contingent. We don't have enough Scottish players coming through. My bonnet's a bit. I need to get my other hat out. There is sort of a slowdown in people coming through the B team that we would like. The conveyor belt hasn't really been there. Is there anybody in the Scotland team that you think that we could go for and make us better? Obviously, I thought Callum McGregor had a cracking game. He kind of showed once again, I think, why he is the Celtic captain. And, he was really good, composed in midfield, Callum McGregor. He made some cracking passes, absolute cracking passes. And I think he was kind of playing in the position that he plays for now. But every Celtic fan wants to see Callum McGregor playing a bit more forward so that he can get a bit more attacking, because I think him sitting back is fine and good, but I want to see Callum McGregor just a little bit more attacking. He's got a couple more years left in him. He was completely in his stride last night. He was just like he was playing for Celtic. Anyway, he had a good game. Tell me what you think about Callum McGregor last night. Tell me what you think about his international game. I always think about the one that got away is McGinn. But other than that, we move on. Shanklin, not a chance. Tarmac, I am back till Sunday. So that's why I'm trying to get two tickets for the game this weekend. The guy that has our tickets is going with his daughter. So I can't take them off him just because I'm back. It was a last minute trip. I booked it the day before. So we're just back for a week. And I am Baltic. Shankland. Martin says Shankland. Shankland. I don't know. Is he not one of them? Is he not a current bun? I'm not sure. Morning, Baz. What's with the Tammy? I am freezing this morning and I haven't figured out how to switch my brother's heating on. Coming from 25 degrees down to this is it's freezing. That's the only way. Never seen you, Tammy. Yes, that's the only reason I've got this on, because I'm actually Baltic. And he did say switch the heating on, but he never showed me how to switch the heating on. I don't know where his heating control is, so never mind. Get goals at SPFL level. Yeah, he could get goals. Shanklin could get goals at SPFL level, but we need quality that's going to make us a bit better. And Baz, you get tickets to the ground reform. Yeah, I'm going to see a couple of the buses that the buses that I used to run. I'll see if anybody's got tickets on that. If not, it'll be one of the other two local buses, because I'll need to get through on one of the buses anyway. So yeah. Yes, his shoulder situation, Kevin. You're right. It's just a little problem with his shoulder. You're reading the wrong bit. Anyway, let's move on. Go back for Armstrong. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Go for Armstrong. Do you think that he's going to make us better in the Champions League game? And again, I don't think that he would actually. I don't think Armstrong is the player that's going to make us better in the Champions League. And you never go back for players. You never go back. It's like an ex. You never go back to an ex. I might just see this Saturday. Do a live. Do a live from Celtic Park. If we drive through, I could do a live afterwards. But we'll see how we're going to get through. If I've got a bus, and then it's kind of I've got to get out and get to the bus park right after the game. Could try and do a live beforehand, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see that. But I think we'll find out tonight. Helen is in the house. Good morning, Helen. Sean is in the house, and yes, let's see if we can do it live on Saturday. Back to the Scottish press. Let's see what they're saying about the game last night. Michael Stewart says that Celtic have a wonderful football player. I've been watching Scotland last night. Let me see what Michael Stewart is saying. I must have missed that bit. Was Michael Stewart on the telly last night? I don't think he was he? No, because it was on Viaplay. Viaplay, that's one of the worst ones to watch. Greg Taylor. He's not saying that about Greg Taylor, surely. He's just talking about Callum McGregor. Stuart was complimentary about Callum McGregor in the centre of the park, who was just a wonderful football player. Always seems to be in the pitch in the right position, never lacks composure, just keeps the game ticking over. That's what I said beforehand. I thought Callum McGregor had a brilliant game last night. He played. I think he played as well as he's played for a while. You could see that. Why is the internet thing come up? That just went away. It's fine. I was there, mate. Joseph, were you at the game? Did you leave early, Joseph? Did you leave Michael Stewart's comment on VidPlay? Was it? I'd switched off because I was going to bed. I was knackered. Went to bed straight after the game, unfortunately. Let's get some of the comments up. Graham Hardy, Paul, Michael Stewart commented on VidPlay. He was there, mate. I didn't know that. As I said, I switched the telly off right after the game. I went to bed because I was absolutely knackered because I had to fly a crazy ass flight, but never mind. Right, let's get back to some more Celtic news. Obviously, the big one that you're going to see this morning, and a lot of the Honduran coach reveals Palma injury worry. Luis Palma and Celtic injury sweat as he adds to the growing list. No, he doesn't. I think you'll find that he comes back and he will be fine. Right, that's just a quick. How long have we been on? We've only been on for 15 minutes. We will be doing a live at 6 p.m. tonight. So make sure that you come on. This was just a warm-up one just to make sure that everything was working okay. A big shout-out this morning goes to Mike Powers. Mike Powers, who is it was 2:30 a.m. in Colorado. And I was trying to help him get through the night shift. We will do a live at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll get back to normal. And we'll talk about the week ahead. We'll talk about players. We'll talk about anything you want, really, that's connected to Celtic. Baz, do you enjoy watching Greg Taylor playing for Scotland? I thought he was okay, but he was getting run out of position a bit. He was getting run out. Angus Gunn keeper, I'd go for him. Is Angus Gunn, is he really better than Bain? Is he really better than Bain? Hey, Baz, everyone, hope you all have been good. Haven't been around for a week. Lost a friend. Lorna, my condolences to you. I've not really been doing a lot in the past week anyway. And I am back in Scotland. So, yeah. Related to Mike. So, yes, right. That's it. We'll call it quits for today. And we shall see you back at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll do a little live. Big shout out to Mike in Colorado doing his night shift. So on that note, have a fantastic